How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today's video is called How to Stop Binge Drinking. I know this is a bit outside the norm for me, but I just want to define binge drinking first. I mean, what does it mean to binge? Consuming excessive amounts of alcohol is the dictionary definition. You know, that's a red herring itself. You know, it's sort of a misleading misdirection. The excessive part of it, because you know, alcohol is a drug. No matter what way you look at it, it's a drug. It's a changes your brain chemistry, and it's one of those things where you have to sort of binge drink in order to get the same buzz that you're getting at the beginning. So when you start drinking alcohol at first, you're going to get a drunkenness out of a very small amount. I say everyone knows who drinks, you know what I mean? In the UK, it's 14 units per week, 8 units for a man in a single session, 6 units for a woman in a single session. In the US, it's a bit more vague. It's 5 drinks for a man, 4 drinks for a woman in a single session. So that could mean that a man is allowed to drink 28 drinks in 1 week, whereas in the UK it's only 14. And when you're talking about a drink, you're talking about a half a pint, not even half a pint. A unit is very small, so it would be a small glass of wine. For instance, in the Guinness that I used to drink, it was 2.5 units per pint. So you're talking less than half a pint for 1 unit of alcohol. So that was 8 units, which was, roughly speaking, just over 3 pints in one session. And then you weren't allowed to drink that for the rest of the week, because you know, you couldn't even have 2 sessions like that where you were drinking 7 pints. You couldn't have 2 sessions where you were drinking 3 pints on each session, right? So you know, it's deliberately vague, let's put it like that. You know, it's not something that people want to advertise. The alcohol companies themselves know fine well that this is what they call it's something which is, when you drink, it affects your mind, right? It starts to create a I can't remember the term that's used for this. They don't mind you drinking these are telling you to drink moderately, because when you drink 1, it impairs your judgment, it impairs the way you think about things. When you drink 2, same thing happens. And you've also got this impairment of judgment over a long time as well, you know. So the more you drink, the more impaired your overall judgment is going to be, right? You know, this is not something that just happens while you've got alcohol inside your body. Alcohol affects your body in general over the years that you're drinking. You know, it's an accumulated thing. It's like you get a certain amount of tolerance for the effect of alcohol, and that's a protection system for your body. So you can drink more of the stuff to, you know, you need more of the stuff to get the same buzz. Nobody drinks. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Nobody drinks alcohol unless they're getting a buzz out of it, right? So at the other end of that scale, you've got the withdrawal then. So the more tolerant you are to alcohol, the more your body has become habituated to drinking it, the more the feelings of withdrawal are going to be when you go down the other end. Now, I've talked about this before, and it's sort of a sticky subject within the community of people when they're quitting drinking alcohol. You know, a lot of people say, well, yeah, I mean, you know, you can't quit drinking without going into medical detox and stuff. I don't believe that. It's a very small amount of people that have to do this. In general, most people can put up with the discomfort of withdrawal, and that's basically what it is. It's, you know, once you're not putting alcohol in anymore, your body, your mind, more than anything else, is going through stages of psychological withdrawal more than anything else. And and that psychological withdrawal can often cause a lot more discomfort than the actual physical symptoms, because dependence is a psychological thing. There's a physical element to it, but at the end of the day, it's mostly psychological. It's mind over matter. Now, I'm not talking about, there are people who have got so much tolerance in their bodies, they've been drinking so much alcohol that it is dangerous for them to stop, and they could go into seizures, they could have a heart attack, there's a lot of bad shit that can happen to these people, and they definitely need to be tapered off. They definitely need to be under medical treatment, if not hospitalized. But that's, as I say, very few people need to do that, and anyone who's at that stage where they need to do that has drank themselves into almost oblivion. Do you know what I mean? Most of the people that I talk to, most of the people that I ever deal with, are people that have had the let's put it like this, there's a big thing called rock bottom that everyone talks about, right? And I'm not going to go into this in too much detail. Rock bottom is different for every single person, but you'll find that on the way down to your own personal rock bottom, there are loads and loads and loads of signs, on the way, saying to you, stop fucking doing this to yourself. Don't do this anymore. This is not good for you. It's not good for your body. It's not good for your mind. It's not good for your life. It's not good for the people around you. It's not good for anything, right? Signpost after signpost after signpost. And those people that need that medical intervention because they, really just drank themselves into oblivion, they're the people that have just ignored those things, all the way down. They've said, it's not going to happen to me, I'm all right, I'll get out of this tomorrow, or, whatever it is, right? But, for most people, you don't have to go down to that length, right? So, go back to the binge drinking. You're talking about a build-up and a breakdown of both the tolerance and the withdrawal, right? So you've got that over a time. You've got, whether you're a binge drinker is going to depend as well on the society and the culture that you come from, your own personal society in terms of your family, your friends, your closest acquaintances and stuff like that. Do they drink heavily as a course of, as a part of their lives? If they don't, you're less likely to be a binge drinker than they are. Do your friends binge drink? When you binge drink, there's a cycle of moderation and then binging, and moderation and binging. People tend to do that. They drink too much, they get the hangover, they get the really bad hangovers and stuff like that. They decide they want to moderate. They moderate for a while and then go back into the cycle of binge drinking again, right? Now, for me, to truly stop this cycle, to truly stop binge drinking, you've got to stop drinking. I'm off the alcohol now for 5 years. And I'm telling you now, it was the best decision that I've ever made in my entire life, right? Without a doubt, right? There's been better things that have happened to me in my life, but this was the best decision. This was the thing that has forced me to reevaluate so many other things about my life, to look at things from a different perspective. But more importantly, it's just led me from one strength to another strength to another strength, and just given me so much in return just for making that one personal choice, right? So I just think that you've really got to sit down and think about this when you're thinking about binge drinking, and when you're thinking, how do I stop binge drinking? You've got to look at this as, if not the only thing to do, then it's at the top of the list. You should be really thinking about stopping drinking and getting it out of your life, because you are only going to go on this cycle again and again and again. I mean, you're asking how to stop binge drinking is really asking how to moderate. It's just a different way of saying it. Binge drinking is what most people do when they get themselves into this into problems with alcohol. So you have to realize that sort of all psychoactive drugs diminish your capacity to understand and realize the harmful effects that are happening to you. You know, while you're drinking, it's whether you get a euphoric feeling or you don't think about your problems, your capacity to slide things under the carpet and not think about them is enhanced, right? You know, people drink to forget about the problems. People drink to not have to worry about things, and you know, this is part of the problem. And it's not just when you're drinking that this happens to you. It's, as I say, an accumulation of many things over a long period of time. So if you want to know how to stop binge drinking long term, stop drinking altogether, right? Discomfort at first, it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to go through the discomfort of having to change many parts of your life, having to extract the alcohol, go through the initial detox where the alcohol is taken out of your system, but that's nothing. I mean, at the end of the day, the biggest parts of this are in changing your mind and changing some of the parts of your life which used to be involved around alcohol, but it's mostly in your mind. If you can do that, you'll have no problem. Any other suggestion that anyone's going to give you, you know, like to try counting your drinks or to, only take so much money out with you. These are only, it's like putting a sticking plaster over a wound that needs stitches, right? It's not going to heal the thing off, right? It's not going to do anything for it, you know. You're still going to have to deal with it, deal with the real underlying problem. Anyone who is looking for moderation and trying to keep drinking they're basically going to keep going through that cycle of moderation and binge drinking, moderation and binge drinking, right? I'll leave it there. If you have any questions at all, leave them down below in the comments. As normal, if you've got any suggestions for videos you'd like to see, then also leave those in the comments down below. If you want to support Alcohol Mastery, all the videos are free and all the videos are always going to be free, but some people like to give us a bit of financial aid, and you can do that through patreon.com. The link is down below in the description as always, or you can go over to the website. It's Patreon /Alcohol Mastery. You can also, if you want some help quitting drinking alcohol, we've got a lot of free courses and that kind of stuff over on the website. Just go over to alcoholmastery.com, fill out your first name and email address, and I'll send it out to you straight away. We've also got some paid courses that are intensive and pack a lot of goodness into a short space of time. We've got the mastermind group as well, which is an ongoing program for helping people to quit drinking alcohol. It's $1 to start out with this thing. You get a 7-day free trial with it, $27 after that. But you know, $27, what would you get for that? You know, you wouldn't even get a cup of coffee a day for it, you know. So we got a lot of success with this group. So until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Take care of yourself. Onwards, upwards. Take care. Bye bye now.